So, moving to the next one, be better next one.
Thanks.
Thank you. How do you contain a player like him?
I mean, obviously, we know how elite he is. I mean, he's done it in the last few games and throughout the whole. But we got to down. Obviously, at a great start, and that's something we get ourselves once again. Something new, and different series than this one. There obviously mid game. There's that's something we got.
Once again.
So again, we'll start with one question each, see how we're doing for time, please.
Scott, what was your vantage point of the mad scramble there late when it looked like Mark had the chance and maybe Gabe had the chance in front as well?
Oh, yeah, there was a few of them there. Exactly what you said. It was a mad scramble. Had a couple whacks at it, but you know what? Ottinger found a way to get a piece. Their defense all piled in and looked like a big rugby scrum kind of happening. And just couldn't find the puck to get it loose.
Scott, in trying to contain Mikko Rantanen, how much of it has to do with your structure and how much is his mark being tight to him?
Mark, what?
Or just whoever's checking him to be tight to him?
Yeah, that was Lowry's line, but he was on the fourth line when he scored both the goals 5-on-5. So, Pete did he used double shift on him, had him on with the steel line, and that's what he scored both goals. That Lowry line did a great job against when he was with Hintz. Other than our first, not so much them, but our first 8 or 9 minutes to the game. But at the end of the day, that's, he went to the net. He's a big man that got there with his stick, and he's just somebody that you always have to know when he's on the ice. And whenever he faced elite players, you got to know where they are. And obviously, he's feeling it, coming off of Game 7, and we got to know when he's on the ice. He's a guy that you have to make sure that you especially tie up that stick of his.
You've used Adam Lowry and Nikolai Ehlers together in certain spurts. What about the time of the game in which you made that adjustment, putting Ehlers on that line?
That had a lot. That had a lot to do with there was nothing going on with a couple of our lines, and I just was trying to get a little bit of shake up there. I knew I was going to drop it a little bit to three lines there, being down, and that was just back on the St. Louis. But we didn't have a lot of room to make plays, to hold on to pucks. Tonight we had time, and we didn't make the plays. We rushed ourselves, and I think we were thinking that that people were gonna come pouring over top of us, and we had more time to make plays than to execute. And I just felt that was probably the biggest thing. And we weren't crisp that way.
You sound perplexed and a bit disappointed.
I'm disappointed, and the players are disappointed too. We know we just gave up home ice advantage, and it wasn't a game that they rolled over top of us for 3 periods. That was a game where we weren't at our best, and we should have been here, especially starting again another series at home and trying to get the upper hand by getting Game 1.
Scott, how important was it for you guys to get Mark back in the lineup tonight?
Huge, obviously. When you miss your top player, those are big. We're missing Josh. So those guys make difference out there, and obviously Scheif had the puck a lot tonight, scored a big goal, had a few other great looks, but yeah, when those guys aren't there, it certainly knocks a little bit of a hole into your lineup.
Is there just a takeaway, Scott, that you guys twice last round followed up a loss with a win, and so your group knows kind of how to maybe, not that this was a bad game, but the result obviously wasn't what you wanted, so to kind of turn the page on that they've done that before recently?
Yeah, this one's going to be easy. We're going to do some post-game on this. We'll look at it tomorrow, and just some areas that, we have to be better at first with us, the areas with us where we have to be better. And then, we'll look at what, some of the things that Dallas did. Obviously it was different. We play different than Colorado does, so there's some things that they try to do. So there's areas that we need to exploit. I saw a lot of stuff tonight that, that's going to be on the video for tomorrow. Thank you.